about you, but the one thing I found interesting about the London Games was having the opportunity to become an expert about some of the lesser known events. You know, if I went down Barry Leisure Centre now, I'm sure I could jump off the 10-metre diving board and beat Tom Daley. Well, my next guest is hopefully going to guide me through which sport a sport that we've probably all had a go at as children, and that up until 1920 was included as a part of the Olympic lineup. It's the tug of war, or the tug-o-war, as I used to refer to it. Yes, Llandrindod was home to the tug-of-war UK Championships over the weekend. An organiser and team competitor, Tracie Zembrzuski, joins me now from Llandrindod. Welcome, Tracie, to the show.
Hi.
Hi, did I get your surname right? Go on, tell me I didn't.
No, not quite. Tracie Zembrzuski.
Zembrzuski. Oh, you see, it's so simple. Do you know what? Every audition I go to, I walk in and I say, yes, my name's Connie Fisher. They say, and next to perform is Connie Francis. So it's not quite as bad as that. I'm sorry about that. Were you pleased with how everything went with UK Tug of War Championships?
I couldn't be more pleased. I think everybody had an absolutely great week, and the feedback we've received has been brilliant. One of the best championships ever by the sound.
How many people came to spectate?
Spectators, I would say we probably had at least 200 people there just watching.
Wow. And how many competing? How many teams?
It was over 20 teams from across the UK, England, Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland.
Right.
And then on the Sunday we saw a few more local teams enter, and a ladies' team from Southern Ireland who travelled all the way over.
All the way from Southern Ireland?
Yep, just to pull on the Sunday.
Just to pull a rope. That's amazing. What were the results then? How did you do?
Our team personally, we managed to get a bronze medal on the Saturday and a bronze medal on the Sunday.
Fantastic, fantastic. And so you say one on the Saturday and one on the Sunday. Is it just one competition that you're going for, or were there different parts of tug of war that you go for?
Yeah, the Saturday was the actual UK closed championships. So there was 2 weight categories for the men and 2 weight categories for the ladies, and 1 mixed category on the Saturday.
Right.
And then Sunday is what we call an open clubs.
Right.
So any clubs that aren't from the UK, or any clubs that didn't qualify to represent their country, can still come and pull with the best from the rest of the country. And
did you have any from further afield than Ireland, or that was quite a long way to come, isn't it?
No, unfortunately not this year. Sometimes we do see teams from Jersey and Guernsey and the Isle of Man.
And is there a certain scoring system to these competitions?
Yeah, the first round is generally, depending on the number of teams, they may split it into a couple of groups. Right. But on the first round, everybody pulls everybody in a round robin.
Right.
And what you do then is you get your top 4 teams with the most points, then go through to pull off for gold, silver and bronze.
Do you know, I feel like an expert after the Olympic Games, but this sport was actually scrapped from the Olympic Games. Why do you think that was? Why was that?
I believe it was because it was just becoming too expensive for countries to pay for members to go over to different Olympics. Because tug-of-war team, there's 8 people in a team, see, and you've got to have your reserves there as well for different weight categories.
Right.
So it was just becoming too expensive for teams to send 10, 12 people over.
You mentioned weight there, and I have a friend who actually competed in the Llamboidi team this weekend, in the men's Llamboidi, and I hear that they're quite a successful team.
Yes,
but
they were.
I couldn't get over how much weight he'd lost, and I asked him why he was eating rice crackers and, low-fat cheese, and he said, because I have to lose weight for tug-of-war.
Yeah.
Now, I couldn't believe it. I thought you had to be really heavy to, the idea was to be as weighty as possible to pull the other team towards you.
Yeah, that's a misconception quite a few people have got. I mean, there's heavyweights and there's lightweights in the tug-of-war. Right. So generally, you try to slim your bigger people down to fit them into the lighter weight categories.
So how far do people go to how far do people go to diet and things? Are they crazy diets they go on, or?
It is, and I was just about to say that I do hear that the sauna in one of the hotels that was in Llandrindod was absolutely overrun with people in the sauna trying to lose weight before they get on the scales to weigh in.
No way. So there's a weighing system before they actually compete?
Yeah, everybody weighed in on the Friday night, and they're not allowed to be 1 kilo over that set weight for the 8 pullers.
No way. So if there's real pressure on the team then not to let the other team members down.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I did go back down to the arena where we set up, and there was a girls' team running around the field, all with bin bags on, trying to sweat the weight out.
No way, that sounds crazy. So, although Llandrindod is a lovely town, let's be honest, it's not the biggest place, is it?
No, it's not, but I think that's what made it so ideal for a competition like this, because there's more of a community atmosphere in Landard where people tend to pull together more. And
well, I went there for the World Championship chariot racing.
Oh, right.
Or bike chariot racing. And actually, I'm quite pleased because I'm in the Guinness Book of Records and I came 6th in the world.
Oh, well done. That's pretty good, that is.
I was quite pleased with that. And I mean, how on earth did it come to play host to a UK Championships? It's quite an official thing, isn't it, to be in UK and World Championships as well? Is it a nice atmosphere there and good, great crowds to come and see you? Or
yeah, it's always great pulling at big events. Especially pulling at a local event, you've got the local people there, so you feel you've got that bit more pressure to perform better.
Yeah, definitely. A home crowd, isn't it? It's like the Olympics.
Yeah.
What drew you to actually, getting into tug of war in the first place?
I've been pulling tug of war myself now for about 8 years. I initially started out, it's a yearly thing for the young farmers.
Oh, do you know what? They tried to pull me into that as well, but I was more flower arranging and public speaking,
Yeah, that's it. I was never a flower arranger. Tug of war suited me better.
Well, it's great to be part of a team, isn't it? And what sort of skills do you look for in a team member?
Commitment's probably one of the most important things because if you haven't got 8 girls committed at the end of the day, you haven't got your best team you could have.
Yeah.
You've got to be committed to your training. You've got to be committed to having weekends and going away for competitions. And
time consuming then.
It is very time consuming.
Is there a season for tug of war though, or is it all year round?
Yeah, we generally start March, April time, generally when the clocks go back, so the evenings are lighter. And we train twice a week for up to 2 hours a time. And then in the middle, the competitions normally start about June time, and we could be away every weekend then down to South Wales competing.
Wow. Well, I've learnt a lot over recent events. Well, watching the Olympics and that.
Yeah.
I've seen a few injuries. Have you had any injuries of your own?
I've got quite bad rope burn on my right-hand side.
Seriously, I shouldn't laugh. It's awful.
Yeah, a couple of the other girls on the team as well. They had quite a bit of the skin ripped off their hands from the glue that they use on the rope.
No way. Do you have ambulances standing by?
Sorry, say again?
Do you have ambulances standing by?
Yeah, we do. We had St John's there. I did ask them how busy they were, and they did say they had a gentleman that popped his hip out on the Saturday.
Oh, nasty. Well, I'm not sure you've inspired me to join a tug-of-war team now, but thank you so much. What's next for you and your team?
Unfortunately, that's it for this year. I mean, it is the World Championships in Switzerland this year.
Right.
But because of funding and the cost of travelling abroad, it's just too expensive for teams to go. I mean, unfortunately, the Welsh Tug of War Association lost their funding from Sports Council Wales this year.
Oh, I see.
Wales are unable to send any teams to represent this year.
Well, hopefully we'll see you again next year in Llandrina, Wales again at the UK Championships.
Any more information can be found on tugofwarwales.co.uk.
That's fantastic. Tracie, thank you so much for teaching me a little bit more about tug of war. And good luck to you and indeed all the girls of the Ithon Valley Ladies Tug of War team. We look forward to hearing much more about you and how you pull in the future.
Brilliant.
Thanks, Tracie.
Cheers, thank you.
I'm at a payphone trying to call home all of my